I know you are about my age, but obviously in much better shape. My question is, are you able to do the movements in the stretching sequence as well, or nearly as well as the guy who does them in the demos? Well, Brian's like 12 years old or something like that. Yeah, no, he's Brian and I are built a little different. I'm built to knock walls down, and he's built to do the demonstrations. Actually, though, we are going to refilm some of them, and maybe I will demonstrate. Yeah, I move okay, not great. I mean, let's be honest. I've got a lot of metal in me, a lot of surgeries. I am curious, Jim, again, because I have trouble with some of them, and I'm wondering what kind of improvement I might expect. Well, see, Jim, that's the beauty of doing things like original strength and intelligent mobility. The beauty is that, we say in discus throwing, yard by yard, it's hard, but inch by inch, it's a cinch. And I feel the same way about mobility. If you want to go from, you go to a yoga class the first time and you've got the girl, the 22-year-old over there who's, she's 5'11" and weighs, 28 pounds, and she reaches back and puts her forehead on the ground. Don't compare yourself to her on day one. Compare yourself to the guy who looks like me, has been doing it for a year, and be like, okay. So think inch by inch when it comes to things like mobility, flexibility. You said stretching there. Mobility, flexibility, and even strength, okay? Think about ongoing progress. Don't think about tomorrow I'm going to be, here. That is kind of the beauty of track and field, at least in my experience, where, you do an event like I did the discus. First time I threw the discus, it went 2 feet behind the ring. It didn't go out in the field at all. Within a few days, I was throwing 40 feet. And then with Alan Albialda, I was trying to get over that 60-foot barrier. And then our first track meet, he threw 59 and I threw 72. And then a few weeks later, I threw 89.11. A few weeks later, 103. A few years later, I was throwing over 200. You follow? That's how you have to think about it. So think, as I said earlier, the first word in the field I'm in is progressive resistance exercise. Word one, progressive. Jim, think progressive. If you're doing 6-point rocks and you're hearing a lot of crickety crackety clickety clue, and the next day you hear only a few cricks and cracks, and on day 30 you pop up and down off the ground. That's what we're looking for, that progression. All right, these are surprisingly great questions. I really appreciate that, Jim.